Welcome to San Diego, California. You're watching the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship presented by Rady Children's Hospital. The final day of pool play to decide seeding for the medal round that begins tomorrow has a matchup here inside Pool E as Sweden looks for their first win at 0-3. They take on the Philippines sitting at 1-2. The opening face-off is coming up in a moment on ESPN+.
Drop the pin. So you go. You click the contact at the top, hers at the top, and then you see send my current location right there.
Where is it? Oh, down here?
Yeah.
Oh. Send my current location. We'll pick Grace.
Just 1 o'clock. I didn't want to come at 1 o'clock. So it's, you know, she's a weekly.
Oh.
Share your location or send location. Send location will probably be easier for her. Yeah.
Well, you remember top of these automatic charges, like the best of the first. It was hard to get.
Back at San Diego as we finish up pool play. This is the final session, the final game in Pool C. The Philippines at 1-2, 0-3 Sweden. Welcome back. Ralph Bednarchik on hand as the sun begins to set here on the Pacific coast. Sweden coming off their best effort and a loss 12-7 on Saturday to the Czech Republic, then had yesterday off. While the Philippines, they defeated the Czech Republic themselves yesterday 11-4, playing their very best half. They led 8-1 at the break, and they're looking to follow that up today and take some momentum with them into tomorrow's medal round. And all concluding with most games ending on Friday, except for the Saturday bronze medal and gold medal games in San Diego. Philippines in the red on white. Dan Morris, national championship winning goaltender at the University of Maryland in 2017, a two-time honorable mention All-American. And he spent a year in the PLL in 2019, native of Dallas, Texas, leads the Philippines defensively. And for Sweden, of course, in their familiar yellow on white, Robin Johansson made 4 saves against the Puerto Rico team on Friday. He's from Gothenburg, Sweden. He will make the start. Jonathan Duhanio, one of the top face-off guys across this tournament. A face-off man at Rutgers, but it will be Sweden off the wing. Eric Smith that will gather. Smith completed his career at Michigan, now gets a chance for a one last dance playing with his brother Dixon Smith, 2 starting close defenders, as we'll go through the lineups with Sweden having the ball first. On the attack, it's Nils Barry, who's come through Penn State with August Schneider. On the attack, and veteran Kevin Powers, playing back in one of his home states. He played at Dominican University of California. The first midfield with Philip Wang. And then the McCallion brothers, Luke and Eric McCallion, both from Havertown, Pennsylvania. with their dad, Ed McCallion, an assistant coach to Stephen Luna, who was a California guy himself, played on the club team at the University of Arizona, and now in his first World Championship coaching the Swedes. On the drive right, Eric Sahlgren, the shooter that time for Sweden, got the first run, and Morris is able to turn it away. And the Philippines will look for the clear. Welcome those of you watching worldwide. There's been a great audience from Manila, especially through the Manila Lax organization that was started 5 years ago. The Philippines, only in their second World Championship tournament appearance, they finished 10th in 2018 as they redirect through Morris under head coach Kirk Ventiquatro, a legend in terms of high school boys lacrosse coaching in central New York at Carthage High School, where he coached the three Powell brothers. Don't even need to mention their first names for good lacrosse fans, and then the Kaufman brothers, Josh and Jason. Kirk Ventiquatro finishing up a 30-year coaching career in 2018.
They had like 30 seconds to get it over there.
Yeah, normally there is. Quite different rules.
There's no failure to advance rules, so the Philippines can take their time here, looking for the clear. This is Michael Garchi-Torrena. He's a rising sophomore at Yale. A stall warning, though, rarely here in effect while a team hasn't cleared. That is possible, as you just witnessed it. And finally, the Philippines will come up with the clear and get into the box. Matt Especiali is on the attack with Mario Ventiquatro, one of Kirk's two boys, and Nick Mitchell. And in the midfield, Chase Ladrito spent some time on the roster of Johns Hopkins, Rutgers' Jonathan Duhenio, and J.J. McKenna. New Jersey native, plays at Division III Stockton. Sweden has been mainly man-to-man in this tournament. Looking for the rollback. Here's Chase Ladrito. And Ladrito fires, and Ladrito starts the scoring. Well, he has been the guy that has taken off, responding to the challenge issued to him by Kirk Ventiquatro. And it's 1-0 Philippines. Ladrito on Saturday scored 2 goals against Puerto Rico, 2 goals and an assist on Sunday against the Czech Republic. They were looking for him to get a little bit more aggressive. And he attacks his matchup there with the short stick. And it's 1-0. Duhenio had lost the first face-off. Luke McCallion had gone initially to University of Vermont before he was an honorable mention All-American and won a national championship as a face-off guy at D3 Cabrini. And this time it'll be Duhenio that will follow the ball and have it. Duhenio is not just foe-going here the way he does at the college level. He'll stay out and play first midfield. And for Sweden defensively in front of Robin Johansson, he's got Bryce Walgard, native of Newbury Park, California. And then the Smith brothers, Dixon Smith. Smith boys both out of Dover, Massachusetts. In tight, and a quick feed inside, Matt Especiali. 2-0 Philippines. But rather than work the ball around, the Philippines worked it to the back with Duhenio feeding, then they just located a nice cut. Mario Ventiquatro will pick up the assist. Third of the tournament for Especiali. Hillsborough, New Jersey native. And plays in the NJAC conference at Kane University. Face-off win, Duhenio.
Nice.
And Duhenio is able to get rid of it. And the Philippines look for some initial transition through Angelo Austria. Long Islander from Plainview, New York. And for the Philippines, they got off to a very slow start. And in this Pool C, where you have two nations that are full of Current and former Division I lacrosse players, Israel and Puerto Rico at the very top. Two of the top 8 ranked teams in the country, in the world coming in. As there's a lefty drive from Chase Ladrito looking for the skip pass, and that's turned over. So Ladrito caught between passing and shooting there. And talking to Kirk Vetaquatro, they got off to such a slow start Friday against Israel. Trailed 4-0 at the half, despite winning the faceoffs overall 10 out of 15 for the game. They went a miserable 0 of 6 on the man up, while Israel executed right away, 3 for 3. That was the difference. Second half, of course, ended up being tied with an 8-4 final for Israel. And then having multiple leads against Puerto Rico on Saturday, including 4-3 at the half, they lost 9-7. Before bouncing back on Sunday with a strong first half against the Czech Republic. Ladrito has already finished with his left hand, now shoots across cage with his right. And Johansson perhaps got a little piece of it. And a battle for the ground ball that came well outside. Philip Wang just able to nudge Duhanio enough. And now Sweden a chance to break out here. Numbers for the Swedes if they hurry. Off to the trail man, then the shot, and Morris picks the save on the step down from Kevin Powers. And the Philippines will find that ground ball through Garcha Terena. Jonathan Hussey, close D-man from Rowe, New York. Played at Division II Power, soon to be Division I program, Lemoyne. Coach Dan Sheehan, very competitive team at D2 with Michael Garcha Terena on close D, and John Tornabene. Played at UMBC, the 3 Filipino close D-men. Here's Neil Maklalad on for the first time. Plays in the club team at Oregon State. Now coming off the wing, Nick Mitchell looking for the shot. It's blocked. And Sweden looking for a stop. Swedes in an 0-3. They've gotten off to tough starts to this point, and that will continue. Neil Adrian Maklalad. 3-0 Philippines. With just under 8 minutes remaining. Open quarter. Another speed dodge from behind. No help came. Sweden with immediate timeout to talk it over. 3-0 Philippines.
Seven years old, we still see the world with the wonder of new eyes, helping you discover untapped possibilities and relentlessly working with you to make them real. Old school grit, new world ideas. Morgan Stanley.
Kids grow up, and it goes by fast. At Rady Children's, we're growing up too. Always looking for answers and new and better ways to care for your kids.
That's true.
Researching, innovating, breaking ground. As they soar to new heights,
Ignition.
we're ready for takeoff too.
Liftoff.
3-0 Philippines. Here in this opening quarter, this is the final session of pool play. The medal round begins tomorrow. And Sweden's been able to muck up the face-offs against Jonathan Duhanio of the Philippines, and this is going to be pointed to the Swedes. Now talking to Stephen Luna of Sweden, they've had a tough go of it because they had about half their roster only be able to consistently participate through recent training camps. So their chemistry offensively is still in development. And that's the hard thing, where you want to show up to these tournaments kind of riding a level of smoothness already. And of course, with players coming in from all over the world at times for different countries, that is the ultimate challenge, especially at the national level, where you have players here already married with kids, deep into their professional careers in some cases. Here's Luke McCallion. As McCallion loses it, so Sweden searching for chemistry offensively, and also fitting guys in kind of the right spots. And in this case, when you play these kinds of tournaments, as Sweden turns it over, there's very little time in terms of trialing and experimenting. Sweden scrimmaged Jamaica, played very well, and now Jamaica started off unbeaten. I didn't see their result today, but Jamaica was 3-0. Sweden then also scrimmaged Denmark, and then a San Diego all-star kind of crew. Some ex-PLL players, local ex-Division I and ex-college players in the area that went well for Sweden in their third scrimmage. And everybody is sort of driving at a different mile per hour when you get here. And you want to be driving the fastest on the road as you arrive. Neil Maklalad will come back on, and he'll run a lot of second midfield for Kirk Ventaquattro. He's got the D-Midi, and Zach Rubin just turned 18 on Friday. Happy birthday, Zach, from Mill Valley, California, in the San Francisco area. As that was nearly an over and back, good play made by the attackman of Sweden, Kevin Powers, and now a flag is out just as Sweden carried forward with Gustav Thompson. And the Swedes will go up a man here with 4:11 left first quarter, and what sure feels like a critical man up. And it'll just be a 30. And we get it. It's a 30-second push with possession. The officials stopped the clock. Too much time was being wasted as they sorted things out at the table. But the first man up begins for Sweden. And can they find the crease man Luke McCallion on this set? Sahlgren up top. This is Zach Rubin on the left. August Snyder begins movement. Cross cage pass intercepted. Almost baiting into that pass was John Tornabene, daring Sweden to throw it. But great work by Luke McCallion to win it back. And then McCallion, as he is smothered, Sweden is granted the timeout. So still a precious few seconds left on the 32nd man up. But they'll have the ball outside the box and then count the extra few seconds before the Philippines get balanced up 6-on-6. So great work there from Luke McCallion out of Haverford High School in the suburbs of Philadelphia. And watch as he's initially stripped after Tornabene made the great interception. And Luke McCallion able to get out of that mess. So Stephen Luna wearing the hat and the white polo facing us right now. He played for the Netherlands 5 years ago in Netanya as an attackman before moving recently to Stockholm, and now that's where he lives, working in private equity. Growing up, he played and attended school at the University of Arizona, playing club lacrosse there, and even has been a Division III college coach here in California at Occidental College.
Yeah, exactly. Could be worse.
Meanwhile, for the Philippines, Kirk Ventuquatro did not mince words. Our defense is our strength, and similar that the offense is taking time to gel. And that's a pretty common theme from coaches here at these World Championships and others that have preceded it, that the defenses usually are ahead of the offenses. Here's August Snyder, longtime box lacrosse player as well. So we'll start it with Snyder. And we are all even, so it must have expired just about the point when they blew the whistle. So here is Snyder back to 6-on-6. But nevertheless, an important possession for the Swedes. On the drive in front, into Morris. And Kevin Powers, hoping he was trying to get the flag or that he was bumped into the crease. He was not, and the officials waved that off. It's a turnover. Tornabene through Morris. Garcha Terreno with great bit of skill with his stick work upon the clear. And the Philippines back with the first midfield. Eugenio and the Philippines leading 3-0. We'll hit 2 minutes to go. First quarter tonight. Madrido gears up the hands and the shot blocked.
Nice save.
Robin Johansson, I was screened a bit. Looks like he made a clean save. No bodies in front. Sweden will have the clear. Eric Friswald. And now what kind of answers will the Swedes have here? Sweden, one of 6 original members that founded the European Lacrosse Federation. There's an opportunity for Zach Rubin. He could not get the shot off. Transition for the Philippines. D-Mini Donovan Rodas picking up a short stick after being the long pole mini to start this tournament.
Go in!
As he does the leg work and the 50-yard sprint. And the Philippines here can manage this final minute of the first quarter. Griffin Rodas will come in. And he's the oldest of 3 Rodas brothers that are having the time of their lives. They all just played together on the club team at Grand Canyon University. And now continuing that for one last dance, or maybe more down the road. Nice draw and dump on the move. Save is made. Johansson on Nick Mitchell. The Philippines have backup with 22 seconds showing. Maklalad twirls. Eugenio. He got a good look. Clock stops under 2 minutes on any stoppage. It's a running clock at any point. And now Johansson reading the passing lane, steps in front. And that'll take care of the first quarter. But the Philippines making life difficult for the Swedes on the offensive end. It's 3-0 Philippines at the end of one on this final day of pool play from the World Lacrosse Men's Championship. first. That was Maklalad. That made it 3-0. And the Philippines starting off well in San Diego. Strong start for the Philippines. How could you not be comfortable in San Diego with those kinds of views? Shots are 9-2 Philippines. Face-offs are now 3 out of 4 for the Philippines. As Sweden won the first one, here's Jonathan Duhanio. As Duhanio whips it back, and then he rushed the pass. Good pressure that time by Sweden's Eric Smith, running down Duhanio and preventing him from turning the corner. So Sweden will look for the clear with Robin Johansson. Johansson along with Anton Berg, a high schooler. They've been the two goalies. Berg started 7 saves against Israel in the opening game. Anton Johansson. Anton also the under-21 team coach that joined Sweden in Limerick, Ireland last summer. And Sweden with a patient clear, and now they get going to work. So just 2 shots for the Swedes. 1 decent look early against Dan Morris. And they've had a man up, otherwise they have just not found a matchup that looks that might provide any success. Here's Kevin Powers popping out. Powers from San Rafael, California, making a return and a homecoming. He was born in Stockholm before attending Dominican University of California, where he was a heck of an offensive player. This is his 4th World Championship playing for Sweden. Eric Sahlgren. McCallion. August Snyder drew some help. There's the shot. Morris, a fine stick save on Mills Barry. And now we'll get the loose ball push. Sweden will keep it. Best offensive set so far for the Swedes in terms of flow. Mills Barry able to come up with the step down. Luke McCallion then comes out in front. Fantastic shovel shot. McCallion ducks his head, dives across low, finishes high into the upper corner. It takes a highlight film goal to get Sweden going. It's 3-1 Philippines. McCallion just lulling the D-Midi to sleep for a second, Donovan Rodas, and then he explodes to the front. Luke McCallion, I'm sure he'll be first to tell you, not just a face-off guy. Has represented Sweden in box lacrosse. Duhanio, clean face-off, win shot and a goal right back. Duhanio able to carry transition. Nick Mitchell steps into one. 4-1 Philippines. First time that Duhanio was able to win one super cleanly. Squeaky clean there. Nick Mitchell's second goal of this tournament. He plays at Babson, Division III program, and a Canadian from Ontario. Face-off win, chance for J.J. McKenna of the Philippines to come up with it cleanly. There is a flag down closer to midfield. And it's Eric McCallion, unnecessary roughness. So as he pursued McKenna of the Philippines along the restraining line. And here's the first man up for the Philippines. Philippines 4 of 10 shooting here. Had a look from the outside, and I think a Swedish body got on top of that. Mario Ventiquattro, the shooter. Now a look for Ventiquattro, and Johansson nearly matching sticks. And Mario missing the target entirely. Ladrido. At 25, J.J. McKenna. Ladrido, then the shot by Mitchell, and Mitchell hits a Swede somewhere in the upper body, and a whistle has to be blown. That's Bryce Walgard that came out and closed out on the shooter with major courage. He knew that that would be painful. Let's have a look at how direct this shot is. That's right off the shoulder. So Sweden has it back. And we are all even. However, a failed clear. Ball back on the ground. And eventually Sweden will roll the ball ahead, where it's snatched up by Kevin Powers.
That's right, he's going. He's going in. He's going in. He's backing up. He's getting out of field. He passes.
And Powers will get rid of it.
14.
Schneider will tell everybody to hold their breath for a second. And Sweden back to work at 4-1 Philippines.
They started passing. It's a close net. 39.
Sweden with among Europe's deepest lacrosse history. One of 6 founding members of the original European Lacrosse Federation. That was founded back in Well, the Swedish Lacrosse Federation, founded in 1992. In 1997, the European Championship. The first version of it was held in Stockholm. That's where lacrosse was certainly born in Europe. Skip pass over the top, Nils Barry, then fires after hitching left and scores. Barry with a quick release and great location.
I can hear you.
With the skip pass that he had to go up and get. Barry's third goal of the tournament, with immediate timeout occurring now of this second quarter. So the Swedes, after a slow start, are within just 2, 7:45 left to go before the half on this final day of pool play from San Diego.
Kids grow up, and it goes by fast. At Rady Children's, we're growing up too. Always looking for answers and new and better ways to care for your kids.
That's true.
Researching, innovating, breaking ground. As they soar to new heights,
Ignition.
we're ready for takeoff too.
Liftoff.
We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
Experience real in a whole new way. From the all-new Rescue Junior, where learning about saving animals is fun, to the icy mission of the all-new Arctic Rescue, the longest and fastest straddle coaster on the West Coast, and spectacular new shows, concerts, parades, and fireworks. All in a world you need to rediscover. Get tickets as low as $64.99 during our 4th of July sale. SeaWorld San Diego. Real amazing.
That's a good place to be in the shadows, but it is cooling down here in San Diego. And actually, when the sun goes down, all of a sudden it can kind of get a little chilly. You have to kind of dress for almost 2 climates sometimes in San Diego. It's a 4-2 Philippines lead here in the second quarter. Ralph Bednarczyk with you. Sweden at 0-3, the Philippines 1-2. As we speak, all the brackets are being finalized ahead of tomorrow's medal round that gets started bright and early, 10 a.m. Pacific. With games going basically in 4 separate sessions, local time, 10 a.m., 1, 4, and 7 Pacific time, all the way through Friday.
So they're going to be starting the face-off.
This time Jonathan Quigley facing off against Eugenio. And Quigley saw it get pushed forward. Eugenio chased. And it'll be Sweden's Eric Smith coming up with the ground ball. The Smith brothers got a chance to spend a year together at the University of Michigan. Eric graduating in 2018. Dixon Smith had transferred there after 3 years at Virginia. Bryce Walgrad. Walgrad to goal. And a late closeout check prevented a pretty good shot. And down on the turf is John Tornabene. And Tornabene is able to get to his feet. So he'll exit, at least for now, and get some medical attention.
They could go for a roughing, but they're not going to do that.
Powers, and that shot is blocked. Michael Garcia-Torrena, coming off of a promising season at Yale, handling that block shot like a champ.
Let's go, Ray! Go, 23! One passes to 18, I think. One passes to the goal. And then he passes.
Garcia-Torrena gets away from the ride of Powers, then took a shove, still able to roll it along, and it's handled. Here stepping in is McKenna. Lights starting to come on here at this field. Could be tough sight lines right now with the sun coming down. Mitchell from the outside, and the bouncer beats Johansson. That one from great distance. 5-2 Philippines. Second of the game for Nick Mitchell.
Let's go, Nick. Okay. No.
Duhanio is assisted on both of Mitchell's goals.
Okay, fake looking. Okay. Yeah.
Let's go, Ray!
And Duhanio able to pick up the ground ball himself. Jonathan spent his freshman year at St. John's University in the Big East before he transferred over to his home state program in Rutgers, where he's continued to flourish. Had a very good freshman year at St. John's as the #1 face-off guy. Duhanio, goal line extended, Johansson, and the end-line race run won by Mario Ventaquattro. Ladrito, and this pass got through him. Battle at the end line, and it will be over and back. It did cross. Sweden on the quick pickup. Can they find something in transition? They got one very good look in the first quarter off transition. Otherwise, this game has been played exclusively in the half field.
That can't be 28. Christian, he's either 88. He's either 88. Yeah, he's 88. Oh. Boy, Christian. Yeah, who's 88? Him. Yeah, I know.
Salgren, then the throwback, and he had the cutter in Philip Wang. Wang was maybe not expecting the pass. Sweden, though, will retrieve it. No shot clock in the international game as we near 3 minutes left. First half. Salgren with Duhanio make that rather number 10, Donovan Rodas defending. Outside Barry, and Morris eats it up. Nils Barry tried to sneak one through, stayed low to low. Barry will be entering his junior year at Penn State in the fall.
Number 10 is going in.
Rodas gets the clear done to Mario Ventaquattro. Mario played at Ohio State and 5 years in Major League Lacrosse for the Ohio Machine, Florida launch. Ladrito from San Diego, played at the Bishop School, so how special this is.
8 or 9. I know Christian's number. Number 9 has the ball.
On the move, and that that one may have been deflected. Neil McClellan will get the goal. Sweden 6-2 Philippines. After Sweden got a little overextended there. A little bit of a knuckleball that was thrown by McClellan. Neil had played on the club team at Oregon State. He's a native of Portland.
Also, what kind of looks familiar?
Face off to Quigley, in and out of his stick. And now Duhenio is collapsed on and a flag comes out. A missed opportunity for the Swedes. Quigley had a chance to not just win the face-off, but perhaps start the 4-on-3.
1 minute, guys, 1 minute.
And a timeout will be taken here with 58 seconds showing, and the Philippines will have the ball and a man upcoming, leading 6-2. And over on the Philippines bench, Kirk Ventacuatro. It's a family affair. It's also a great talent. Kirk, of course, with his 30 years of coaching at Carthage High School, coached many different sports. It was reported one place that Kirk, between all the different sports, junior high, not just varsity lacrosse, he had coached 110 seasons of different sports. And then he's got one of his sons, Tony Ventacuatro, on the staff as his associate head coach. And then Sis Cross, who's the offensive coordinator for the PLL's Water Dogs, defending champions last year, to run this offense that is trying to get on the same page. It's similar to what Stephen Luna talked about with his offense, where it's taking time for the offense to gel. And who's going to be aggressive, who's kind of ready to be a goal scorer at this point, and they've been playing a little catch-up. And in addition to the hard schedule, where perhaps you'd like an easier game in game one, where everybody's feeling good. But in game one, they were shut out in the first half by Israel.
Just tie your shoe.
Mario Ventacuatro dropping the ball, and Sweden trying to get on to him, but Chase Ladrito is able to find it. Ladrito, defenders backing off, and the shot went wide. Well, fortunate for Sweden, Bryce Walgard did not give up, and he finished his check. Otherwise, Ladrito could have crow-hopped right into the crease. Sweden needing a stop here at the end of the first half. Mario Ventacuatro. Countdown begins for the fans here. Pass for Duhenio off of his stick, and Sweden does get the stop that they needed. And it stays 6-2 Philippines at halftime. Philippines trying to finish off pool play, 2-2, and take two straight with them into the medal round. We'll see if Svedie has a chance to answer in the second half. Highlights and stats coming up on ESPN+. What's that? The coach told me she had just gotten her first job last summer. She was a cellular and The sun is setting here in San Diego in the final session of pool play. Sweden trying to come up with a win, and they've got some work to do here, trailing 6-2. 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship is sponsored by Rady Children's Hospital, the largest children's hospital on the West Coast, ranked among the 10 best children's hospitals in the nation. 6-2 Philippines at the half. Halftime highlights coming up.
Kids grow up, and it goes by fast. At Rady Children's, we're growing up too, always looking for answers and new and better ways to care for your kids.
That's true.
Researching, innovating, breaking ground. As they soar to new heights,
Ignition.
we're ready for takeoff too.
Liftoff.
Kids grow up, and it goes by fast. At Rady Children's, we're growing up too, always looking for answers and new and better ways to care for your kids.
That's true.
Researching, innovating, breaking ground. As they soar to new heights,
Ignition.
we're ready for takeoff too.
Liftoff.
6-2 Philippines at the half. Ralph Bjornchik back with you in San Diego. So we'll show you some first half highlights. 3-0 at the end of one for the Philippines. Or at least 3-0 start, I should say. Before Sweden finally got some possessions together. After an early shot by Ladrino, that Speciale from Mario Ventaquattro. And then in front, Neil Bacaladad made it 3-0 there before Luke McCallion. Fantastic goal to finally have an answer for Sweden. But then next possession, Jonathan Duhanio, Nick Mitchell, the step down, right back to a 3-goal lead at 4-1. And a great goal by Nils Barry soon after that. Then Mitchell from distance, maybe one that Johansson would like to get back. That will make it 5-2. And then one that seemed to be a little bit of a curveball thrown by Neil Bacaladad. And it's 6-2 Philippines with the halftime lead. Shots are 17-8 for the Philippines. Early going Sweden with just 2 shots. There were about 14 minutes. 3 saves for Dan Morris for the Philippines, just 1 for Johansson of Sweden credited. And the Philippines 0 for 2 on the man up. And the face-offs, Duhanio and company are 5 of 8. 6-2 Philippines. Trying to make it 2 straight ahead of tomorrow's medal round. We're back in San Diego momentarily. Philippines, maybe a game that's still too close to comfort for them. They have a 6-2 advantage. Or look like they'd be off and running similar to their first half yesterday against the Czech Republic, where they eventually built up an 8-1 halftime lead before Sweden stopped the bleeding and kept it at just 3-0 at the end of one. Sweden looking a lot better offensively in the second quarter. We'll see if that continues for Coach Stephen Luna's team. They were able to whip the ball around a lot better. They got Nils Barry involved, but they still have not been able to find any passes into the painted area. Quickly continues to face off for Sweden. After early on it was Luke McCallion. And Quigley off the wing. Eric McCallion decides to attack his matchup, D-Mini Angelo Austria. Now the pass up top, low for Luke McCallion. He might have been in a position to step and shoot. And the battle for this loose ball, Sahlgren 5 in yellow, right along the side to make that 6. Eric McCallion, he's forced out. I think the official's holding a flag and wants to throw it. And he will throw it. So the Philippines just trying to ride the attackman out of bounds, and instead Michael Garcia-Torrena will take a penalty. Garcia-Torrena 39 in red. And that last hit, we'll see if it's deemed unnecessary roughness. It's a 1-minute cross check. So here comes Sweden's second man up.
Let's go defense! Let's go defense! Let's go defense! Let's go defense!
Well, now they've announced a penalty, a 30-second call against Sweden for an illegal substitution. So they must have brought on 7 field players in the midst of subbing. So there's Stephen Luna in the white polo, and that's a frustrating foul to give up. So the Swedes will keep the ball, and I think they'll just spin it around for 30 seconds, and then they'll have a man up that's cut in half. So the Philippines are not going to bother to press out. And we'll just think here for a second for 30, and then we'll get back to lacrosse. So here comes Schneider as he runs on. So now the 30 seconds begins. The skip over the top, and that's knocked down. Good stick that time from Justin Hussey of the Philippines. Final seconds of the man up. Morris takes a love tap. Now sits at the cage, and Morris will shut him down. It has been very difficult for Sweden to get anywhere in the painted area. See the save here as Powers leaning on the defender. We get a penalty on the other end. Meanwhile, a 30-second interference against the Swedes. So right after the missed opportunity and the man up, this is a 30. Sweden got a stop at the end of the first half. Now we're all even. The shot, though, comes from the wing just as the penalty expired. Third of the game for Nicholas Mitchell. And the Philippines have built a 7-2 lead. So the sixth Swede was not yet in the picture. And just quick ball movement, just slightly too much room there. That was allowed by the Paul Anton Johansson of Sweden. And Mitchell was able to bury a 9-yarder. Eugenio, clean win, and throws over the top. Transition for the Philippines. And McKenna will peel back. Make that 26, Phoenix Rodas. He is the middle sibling from the Simi Valley, California Rodas brothers. The youngest, Donovan Rodas, playing D-Midi.
And no, they didn't.
And the oldest, Griffin Rodas. Easy take for Robin Johansson. International rules greatly favor teams that have the lead. Sweden's Eric Friswald looks for the clear, but he was pestered and turned it over. And then Donovan Rodas, who had caused the turnover, now he's going to draw a flag. So August Schneider with some frustration. Donovan Rodas was unrelenting as he was pestering the Swedes on the clear. Forced a rushed pass and now creates maybe an offensive opportunity via the man up. Philippines 19-9 in shots. They begin their fourth man up, have yet to convert. Of course, the last goal occurring just seconds after the man up expired. Now from the outside, they do here. And a goal from J.J. McKenna. The man-up finish, and the Philippines have separated. It's 8-2 here at the media timeout, third quarter. Especiali to his left, and the Philippines in control. So the Philippines just finishing off a man up and in total control here. They extend the lead to 6. Eugenio, first super clean one in a while. That time Luke McCallan got put up there. And when you look at what the Philippines have, you have a national championship winning goalie at Maryland and Dan Morris.
But you have to do it before the other team.
Garcha Terena, a high Division I defenseman. Eugenio facing off. You can control games. This bouncer goes wide by McKenna. And then if the Philippines were able to get a lead on some of the upper echelon teams, you can envision how they can pull off an upset against the teams that are not named United States and Canada.
Wait, he's coming.
Matrito.
He went before.
Good help that time from Anton Johansson to prevent the shot.
He said it's
well-timed slide.
So I'm trying to prove
Mitchell the rollback. There comes a double. Good recovery from Dixon Smith. Dixon playing for Sweden for the 3rd time, going back to the 2014 World Championship that took place in Denver. Dixon spending 2013 through 16 at Virginia, finishing up 2017 at Michigan with his younger brother Eric. Eugenio misses low to high. And the Smiths will have to, of course, do some deeper research to check, but the Smith family could be the very first ones to have a Smith playing for the Swedish women's and men's team, as their sister Ellie Smith out of Connecticut College has played for the Swedish national team, including in last summer's Women's World Championship. And all 3 Smiths are defenders. Mom Monica, born in Sweden. The Philippines turn it over as we work our way towards 5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. Sweden had cut it to 4-2 midway through the 2nd. Now on the charge, and just getting held up was Eric Salgren. He could not get his hands completely free. Salgren fires, this time his hands clean. Second of the tournament for Eric Salgrens. Played at Division II Belmont Abbey. Hit for a goal and 2 assists in Saturday's tough loss to the Czech Republic. So he took on McKenna, who was caught a little off balance. He's made it 8-3, and Sweden is on the board in the second half. And the Philippines get called for procedure, so a chance to string a couple of quality possessions together for the Swedes. The Lacrosse Federation for the Philippines has only been around for about 6 years. And they played in the Asia qualifiers.
Okay, I'm ready.
But of course, they didn't have this full team with them. And that left them in a tough Pool C, especially the way their schedule broke, having Israel and Puerto Rico right off the top. And that was kind of the obstacle course that they created for themselves. But Kirk Vetaquatro is saying how, especially for this special group of guys, he would love nothing more than for these guys to see some success, and also for people in the Philippines and of Filipino descent, Filipino heritage, to see what can be done in tight powers, and was not able to get much of an angle. Manila Lacrosse has been created, lacrosse program. Anthony Brown, who is on this Philippines roster, he's a native of Jacksonville, but now lives in the Philippines and is involved directly on the ground in terms of a grassroots operation. And they've got about 50 or so youth under the age of 18 that have been playing the sport, and some right from the very beginning for about 5 years, and they're constantly getting message about how to buy sticks, and they're pretty close in the Philippines to having enough of a squad where the next U20 Junior World Tournament that they'll be able to enter a team. Room and time there. Mitchell would have been off target. Johansson reached for it, and Sweden will find the loose ball. And the Philippines, in addition to this senior national team squad, because of also some visa issues, several players that would be considered homegrown are going to be joining for this week as part of 2 festival teams. They'll kind of be like a little bit of an older team, guys maybe from ages 20, 21 to 25, turned over there. Here's Ladrito. So there'll be one kind of older festival team that will be playing in a separate tournament here, and then kind of a true junior team with players of Filipino heritage from kind of the ages of 16 to 22-ish. So 2 festival teams that will get started there as the Philippines want to start a pipeline where they can celebrate some homegrown players moving forward in the future like many other countries have. Macalad.
Connected.
Mitchell skips it. Madrido. Perhaps an equipment issue for Bryce Walgard. I think they sent him over to the bench, so Sweden having to sub him. And now they try to get organized. Then coming out in front, and Johansson closed down the short side. That look from Mario Ventaquattro. Well, Sweden is granted a timeout here on defense. Late in the third quarter with just 23 seconds left. So something occurring with Bryce Walgard as he headed off, and Sweden looking around, trying to figure out who's doing what defensively. But the Philippines, defensively themselves, they've only given up 11 shots here in the final seconds of the third quarter. Dan Morris has made 4 saves. As now they gather around Sis Cross, their offensive coordinator. Interfere for Sweden there on the right-hand side. There's Ed McCallion in the middle of that defensive huddle. The father of Luke and Eric McCallion. Ed McCallion having about a 20-year travel coaching career. Boys and girls lacrosse, running Mesa Lacrosse in the Philadelphia region. And also having coached at Radnor High School.
What was that?
Sweden was able to come up with a stop at the end of the second quarter, and they need one here to remain within somewhat striking distance.
Oh my God, why are you spraying this on me? Liam, turn around. Liam, scoot back, please. Tell me.
High pass that Matt Especiali brings down.
This is the best one, though.
Let me see it. Where?
Mitchell looking for the sweep across. That had his hands tied up. And let's see if the flag is out. That was pretty good defense from Zach Rubin and the Marin Academy in the San Francisco area, and that is all for the third quarter. So Sweden gets the stop. And can they pay it off on the offensive end as they look for a little run? 8-3 Philippines as we go to the fourth. This was the rip by McKenna that made it 8-2, and then an answer from Eric Salgren. A little bit of a breeze tonight here on this field on the campus of San Diego State. The final quarter of pool play of the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship. Underway with a face-off win for the Philippines. And J.J. McKenna able to gobble up the ground ball off the wing. Shots are 25-11 for the Philippines. And the Philippines having the lead despite an 0-5 on men up. Face-off advantage now 9-14. Especial draws a double. Ladrito look to the backside. Good recovery from the Swedes. Eugenio hits the pipe with the shot. Recovery by Mitchell. Eugenio a bit unsettled. He had Especial but didn't see him. Eugenio shot blocked. Aggressive closeout from Dixon Smith. Smith's grandfather, very tough. Played hockey and football at Harvard. Off the face dodge, that shot, that's off with Especiali's helmet. So he hit his own man. And the Philippines will keep it on the opening possession of the fourth quarter. on Sunday, and to try to follow it up with a win here and head to the medal round, playing their best so far in San Diego. And again, we apologize. Still working on our game clock here. 5:20 to go, fourth quarter. Our audio appears to be working just fine again, as we had lost power briefly. And Sweden trying to mount just some late life here. Mills Barry, as he carries. Skip pass is there. Not in shooting position for Friswald, and then he's turned back. Friswald had the opportunity perhaps for a quick stick, as he received the ball, caught it a bit flat-footed. And with 5 minutes to go, the ball is out of bounds, and we will go to our final media timeout. The Philippines are clear and perhaps a long possession away from putting the clamps on this one. 8-3 Philippines over Sweden.
I dare you to go on the edge and scream out Phil. You don't even need to go on, just go on the edge. At the end of the game. Oh my goodness. No, like at the last minute. Oh, where's the mayor? Yes. Who's that baby? Who's that little baby?
And we've got our clock back, 5 minutes to go. The Philippines with a clear. And now they can settle the ball. Remember, no shot clock in the international game. So Duhanio will hold. And seeing the Philippines here, you can see that, as I alluded to earlier, they have some pieces that make them very dangerous, particularly the second time around against some quality teams. Down the left alley, Mario Ventaquatro. And the Philippines spreading the field more, so it looks like the thought from Kirk Ventaquatro was to burn at least a minute or so off the clock, and maybe take a layup at some point. Ladrito, he'll take it instead. I think Ladrito was going to circle further around. Then he realized that there was no one that was sliding to the pipe. And with Robin Johansson maybe searching around to try to double somebody, Johansson was not quite lined up to stop that shot either. And it's 9-3 and Ladrito's second. Well, you know what? Johansson actually did get there. Just the shot was fantastic to the far pipe. Jace Ladrino, one of 3 boys in the family. His brother Dean had played at Swarthmore. Ladrino had committed very early and went to Johns Hopkins. He was there in 2021 on the roster, and now still just attending school there. So another opportunity for him to continue his lacrosse career, and maybe someone that could be sought after as a grad transfer down the road once his Hopkins studies are done. So the Philippines with another face-off win, and under 3 minutes left. And they can bleed the rest of this clock.
Right, so Jake can be in front of the mic, but not me.
Most goals that the Philippines have allowed was 9 against Puerto Rico on Saturday. So between Morris and Duhenio, the face-off X have a real chance to keep the better countries here in this tournament to that 9-10 goal number, even against some of the best Pool A teams. Timeout taken by the Philippines. So we'll keep it here with 2:13 left. Action will begin bright and early Pacific time tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with the medal round starting. And the medal round will go Tuesday to Friday, where most place winners will be decided on Friday. And the semifinals will be on Thursday night. And the teams that will play for the gold and the bronze on Saturday, they get the day off on Friday to recoup. So it's going to be an awesome week of lacrosse and emotions for these players as they come off the field, some of them for the final time. And you have some great pioneers that have been with these nations for a long time, like Kevin Powers, who, being born in Stockholm, and lacrosse has been synonymous with his life in Sweden.
London.
Off Kirk Ventiquatro's staff. Of course, Ventiquatro, that means 24 in Italian, but his mother-in-law is Filipino. And her name, Carmen Buyalat. She had married a serviceman who was Filipino, and that's where kind of the pull, the emotional pull, and also for Kirk Ventiquatro, something to give back to his heritage from the Philippines comes from, and how he was sought after for the job. Shooting at the open goal with Johansson off to be as a defender, and Duhenio missed the cage.
Goalie these days, am I right?
So Johansson searching for someone to cover. And now the Philippines are going to throw the ball away. So Matt Especiali was going in the other direction, and Sweden with a chance.
What if USA goes against
Smith all the way upfield, and he'll connect with Mills Barry. And turning and firing, that shot is blocked. Simon Palm was the shooter. And this will go back to the Philippines as we approach 1 minute.
Who are you going to cheer for? I don't know. But which team is Uncle Ray playing for? But at the same time, we live in the...
And Sweden has been stuck on one shot for like the last, I think, most of the fourth quarter. They had the shot from Dixon Smith in transition, and then that look, which never even got on cage, was their 13th of the night. Shots are 34-13. Mitchell, and Johansson the same. Goal differential is a factor. So the Philippines, who are going to move to 2-2, they could have elected to try to keep running up the score as a means to separate them from other teams that might be 2-2. And the teams will be seeded from 1 through 30 starting tomorrow for the medal round. Barry cutting to the crease. And this is a Philippines team that might be favored despite being a higher seed when the tournament begins tomorrow. The Philippines yell out the final seconds, and they celebrate a 9-3 shutdown of Sweden. The Philippines take some great momentum with them into tomorrow's medal round. With a pair of consecutive wins, they finish up 2-2 here in Pool C, while Sweden still searching for their first win. They fall to 0-4. Nicholas Mitchell with 3 goals to lead the way. Jonathan Duhanio, fantastic in the face-off X. Also would add a pair of assists. And Chase Ladrito with 2 goals to lead the Philippines, along with an outstanding defensive effort of outshooting the Swedes 35-13. For our entire crew here in San Diego, from producer and director Byron Apt, my name is Ralph Bnorchik saying so long and goodbye. We'll talk to you tomorrow, bright and early, 10 a.m. Pacific, on our ESPN family of networks and on ESPN Plus for the medal round beginning from the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship presented by Rady Children's Hospital.
I was like at the end of the line. And she said everybody was in line, and then Esty comes over here and tells the story 3 times.